In today's video, I'll be testing out Buzzfeed kitchen hacks, including some of the ones that I said would be a bad idea to do when I was testing out Buzzfeed hacks in a previous video, including making eggs in a waffle iron, making your own taco shell, and about 10 or so other ones. Plus more things you guys dared me to do in the comment section.
Crazy mother.
So in a recent video, I tested out some Buzzfeed cooking hacks, and I also talked shit about a whole bunch of them. And I feel like I came off a little bit negative in that video. So I wanted to make an entire video dedicated to Buzzfeed's kitchen hacks that actually work. So if at any point in the video you find something useful or you just like it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also in the comment section, let me know what your favorite life hack is. Whether that's cooking related, something that's in this video, or something that should be in my next video, leave it in the comment section. Alright, now we'll be getting started with our first kitchen hack. We're going to be getting started with the ones that involve using the freezer, because obviously those are going to take a while. But they're also probably some of the best, so let's check these out. For this one, they say to freeze Cool Whip into cookie cutters for a unique addition for your beverage. That looks pretty cool. This just happens to be the cookie cutter that I have. Let's put this in there and we'll see what happens. For the next life hack, they said to dice up a lemon and then fill up an ice tray with water and put the pieces in there. Then put that in the freezer and you've got awesome ice cubes that you could use for then a punch bowl or a pitcher. All right, let's get started. Alright, and then while spilling lots of it, make sure to put it in the freezer. Alright, this is gonna get everywhere, but it should be good either way. I still have my frozen whipped cream cookie cutter back there, and I'll just leave this in the freezer for a little bit and come back when it's ready. For this next kitchen hack, they said to boil water before putting in the ice tray so you can get nice clear cubes. And since we've already established that boiling water in the Keurig is stupid in the other video, we're gonna go ahead and put this glass of water in the microwave to boil it that way. Now I just gotta hope that that doesn't melt the ice tray. Okay, this next one is super fucking simple. There's absolutely no way it could not work. You just take a wet sponge, put it in a Ziploc bag, throw it in your freezer, and you've got a cold compress that you can then use later on when you're hurt. And as often as I get hurt doing my challenges and whatnot, I'll probably need this. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in there right now. Towards the end of the video, I'll go back to all of these that I put in the freezer and we'll see how they turned out, except for the sponge, because obviously the sponge is gonna work. This next one I thought would be particularly useful for me because I have a lot of these salt things around the house. I have no idea why, I just tend to collect them, I guess. But basically you just cut the top off of these and use that instead of the top that comes on the mason jar, and then you got a resealable salt container that you can use for a long time. Let me show you. And obviously guys, the biggest advantage to using this over the normal salt container is now you can see exactly how much salt you have left and you know whether or not you need to buy some, which kind of solves my other problem of collecting these things because I would know that I needed salt but never know exactly how much. But yeah guys, obviously it works. I mean, it's gonna pour out salt. Not too bad. On to the next one. For this next kitchen hack, you take an egg and shake it violently like this for several minutes, then after boiled, it'll turn into a golden egg. It's basically a scrambled boiled egg, but you have to shake it really violently first, that's what it says. Okay, hopefully that will be long enough. That's what she said. Now I'm gonna also be trying out another kitchen hack at the same time. Apparently if you make a small hole in the end of an egg and boil it, the shell is a lot easier to peel off. So I'm gonna be making one golden egg. Okay, I've got a hole in it now. It seems like all the egg's gonna come out, but we're gonna try this. Then we're gonna be making one normal egg with the same technique, and another normal egg with no technique. That way we can tell the difference. And since my water's up to a boil already, I'm gonna throw these things in there. Shit, one of them broke already because I dropped it in there too hard. Alright, well I have to jack off another egg. This should only take another few minutes and then I can throw it in the pot. Hopefully it doesn't break this time. Okay, after giving this egg the proper amount of hand job, I can now poke a hole in it. Alright, it seemed a little bit carbonated right there. And now I will lightly drop it into the pot where hopefully it doesn't break. This one, same thing, only it's not going to be a golden yolk. Instead it's just going to be a normal egg, but I will use the same technique by putting a hole in the top, so hopefully this one's going to be easy to peel too. And this is just a normal egg with no hole in it, so that way I can kind of have this as like the standard to measure that one by. I wanted to film this part because this is making some substance that I was not really expecting here. I'm guessing that all that's coming out of the egg. Well, anyways, it's almost done cooking. Okay, I think the eggs are pretty much done boiling, so I'm gonna drain them, give them a little bit to cool off, maybe throw them in the fridge, and then we'll pop off those shells and see what we got. Alright, so I've got those in the fridge. We'll move on to the next kitchen hack and we'll come back to it in a second. Alright, for this next one, we're gonna try to do 2 different tortilla hacks. This first one, we're gonna cut up the tortilla and make our own tortilla chips. And the other one's making a taco shell, but we'll get to that. And I'll try to arrange them so they're not cooking on top of each other. Spray it with a little bit of cooking oil. Flip. Hit the other side with oil. Give it a dash of salt with our little mason jar here. And then we just throw it in for about 10 minutes. The other cooking hack was how to make a taco shell. Alright, that should work just fine actually. Alright, I think that's been just about long enough. Whew! That's hot. I can already tell that's awesome though. This is a giant oversized taco shell now. It didn't really occur to me when I was making this, but I'm sure that they intended you to use a much smaller tortilla shell than this. That's pretty awesome. For this next one, we're going to be cooking an egg in the waffle iron. This really should work, but I did have some problems when I tried to cook a hash brown in there before, but I think it's going to work, so let's give it a shot. So guys, I may have kind of sabotaged this life hack, because obviously I could have done a lot more to the egg than just drop it in there like that, including scrambling it or adding cheese and a variety of other things that I did not do, because this is one of the ones that I talked shit about in the other video. I just kind of talked about how I didn't think it was a good idea, but we'll find out if I was wrong or not. And even if I was, we're gonna blame it on the waffle iron anyways. Alright, let's see what we got. Okay, that looks kind of weird. You know what though, it doesn't matter how it looks, what matters is how it tastes. And see, look at that. It all came up really well. That's actually a lot better than it would have been if it was in a pan. I mean, that looks interesting. I gotta admit, that's something different. This would be like perfect for a sandwich or something. I'm not gonna put this on a sandwich or anything though. I'm just gonna pick it up with my bare hands and eat it like a savage. It's probably gonna be delicious. It perfectly cooked the egg, just now in waffly form. Alright, on to the next life hack. For this next one, they're saying to use an apple slicer to cut potatoes, and if this works, it'll be the quickest way to cut potatoes that I know of. So let's give it a shot. Alright, let's see how quick we can dice a spud with an apple slicer. Perfect. Alright, so now basically everything that we've got left is in the freezer or the refrigerator, so I'm going to start taking things out of there one by one to find out how everything did. I'm interested to see if the egg is actually a golden egg. I want to know if those ice cubes came out clear just like they said, and I think we've given it enough time, so let's open up the fridge and see what we got. Alright, I have 3 eggs here. I don't really know which one's which, so I'm going to try to open these up, and you'll definitely know which one's the golden egg when you open it, if it is golden in fact, so we'll see. Okay, the first one's down, and that's definitely not the golden egg, at least I hope not. This is definitely one that I poked a hole in the top with. Probably not going to be able to see that, but this one should be really easy to open, so I don't know. That only took me like a minute to open, but it is also not the golden egg. We've got one last chance to have a golden egg here, so fingers crossed, I guess? Oh, guys, I hate to say it, but I think I messed up. I think that this one was the one that was supposed to be golden. It's a little bit more yellowish than all the other ones, but apparently my jack-off arm isn't strong enough. That being said, I think it would have worked on the first egg that I messed up, but my arm was just too tired and I couldn't jack off anymore. I'm sure that you guys all know what that's like. But we've got tons of other stuff in the fridge, so let's see how the other life hacks turned out. Oh, but by the way, I could definitely tell the difference between which one had the pin poked in it and which one didn't. 2 of them were really easy to take the shell off and the other ones weren't, but they were all basically the same color. So one of the life hacks worked. The other one, I probably just couldn't jack off hard enough. Now let's see how those lemon ice cubes turned out that we made in the muffin tray. They're actually surprisingly easy to take out. Yeah, with no effort at all, they just come right out. That would work perfectly in a punch bowl, or a big pitcher, or whatever you got. I'd say that life hack is another pass. Next up, we used boiled water to make ice cubes, so let's see how these turned out. Now they're supposed to turn out really clear, but I think that they might have just gotten some frost on them. Those ice cubes are actually pretty clear at some points. Those are normal ice cubes I put on top of it, and you can definitely see the difference between the two. Normal cloudy ice, clear ice. Cloudy, clear. I guess we can say that one worked too. This last one is the frozen whipped cream that I'm now going to be putting in my coffee that I've just made. Okay, I'm just gonna try to pop it out as best I can. Oh, all right, well, that actually just kind of fell apart. But the whipped cream still works. Maybe it's because I used the whipped cream in a can. That could be why. I was concerned for a second because I wasn't getting a shot of it, but then it just all crumbled anyways, so. But most of those were really awesome. Well, this was definitely fun for me. I'm glad that I tried out some of those kitchen hacks. I guess you never know until you try, which is why I'm always up for a good challenge. So make sure to leave me your dares in the comment section. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you've yet to have done that, and as always, I'll be seeing you guys either tomorrow or as soon as I possibly can with a new video. All right, thanks guys. Bye.